in the upcoming biennium. In the coming days, we will all consider in detail related decisions that will guide the next steps in the UNCCD process. So just not to take too much of your time in mentioning all of them, so let's just mention a few here. The COP will consider further upgrading global collaboration on addressing drought. Perhaps we will have a strong, solid decision for that. We will have before us a number of topics that are critically important for success in achieving LDN and building drought resilience. Advancing secure tenure, promoting gender equality, engaging youth, to mention just a few. Furthermore, we will consider how to further enhance resource mobilization for effective national implementation. Following the midterm evaluation, we may launch the process of developing the post-2030 strategy for the UNCCD. In the context of the CST, one major question will be about the review of the science policy interface. And lastly, next national reporting is scheduled to start in 2025. This is one of the matters that the CRIC and the CST will jointly discuss about. These decisions and many others will be the guidance for the Secretariat and the GM in the coming years. Thank you for your attention.
I thank the representative of the UNCCD Secretariat. I open the floor for representative of parties and observers who wish to make statement. Please press the microphone button if you wish to make a statement. Okay, thank you. There is no speaker, and we will consider sub-items 2A, the review of the report of committee for the review of implementation of the conventions at its 21st session. I give the floor to reporter to introduce the related documents.
Chair, distinguished delegates, I am pleased to introduce document ICCD CRIC 21/11 entitled Report of the 21st Session of the Committee for the Review of the Implementation of the Convention, which contains, among procedural elements, also the recommendations and conclusions of our deliberation during the 21st session of the CRIC. I would like to take this opportunity to thank again all parties that engaged in the fruitful discussions that we had during CRIC 21 and which contributed to the many targeted recommendations contained in this report before you. Those conclusions and recommendations helped us and the Secretariat greatly to draft part of the draft decisions now contained in document ICCD CRIC 22/8. For coherence sake, it was decided to integrate some of the substantive items, such as recommendation relating to, for example, gender and other policy frameworks discussed during CRIC 21, into decision text that will be negotiated in the contact group established yesterday under the Committee of the Whole. This was done with a view to avoid unnecessary duplication and cross-referencing between decisions taken here by parties at COP16. Dear Chair, dear distinguished delegates, I thank you all for your attention.
I thank the reporter. I open the floor for representatives of parties and observers who wish to make a statement. Please press the microphone button if you wish to make a statement. Okay, I see no speakers requesting for the floor. I give the floor to the representative of civil society organization.
Thank you, Chair. Distinguished delegates, on behalf of the accredited civil society organizations of COP16, we acknowledge the significant role of CRIC in reviewing the implementations of the UNCCD and guiding parties towards effective measures to combat desertifications, land degradations, and drought. We commend the process highlighted in the CRIC 21 report and emphasize the following priorities to ensure that the outcomes translated into actionable, inclusive, and transformative results. We have point out 6. Number 1, strengthen participation. By enhancing the inclusions and meaningful participations of women, youth, indigenous people, and local communities in the Convention's implementations process, their knowledge and experience are critical for context-specific and equitable solutions. Point 2, align with global frameworks. By ensuring synergies between the Convention's implementations and other multilateral environmental agreements, particularly the UNFCCC and CBD, coherent actions is vital for addressing interlinked challenges. Point 3, accountable monitoring and reporting. Promote the use of participatory and transparent mechanisms in monitoring and reporting. Promote disaggregated data on Sustainable Development Goals indicators, especially 15.31, should be integrated to assess progress effectively and address gaps. Point 4, focus on local and community-led actions priorities. Prioritize accessible funding mechanism, including small grants, to support local-driven initiatives, agroecological practices, and community-led restorations efforts. Point 5, bolster resources mobilization, strengthen financial and technical assistance to countries and communities most affected by land degradations and drought, ensuring equitable and sustainable resource allocation. Point 6, advance gender equality, fully implement the recommendations on the independent evaluations of the Gender Action Plan to mainstream gender across the Convention's initiative. CRIC work is fundamental to the success of the UNCCD. We urge all parties to adopt measures that ensure its findings and drive equitable and impactful implementations. Thank you.
I thank the representative civil society organization. We have heard the last speaker of the list of speakers. We have conclude this stage of our consideration of agenda item 2 and its sub-items A to C. Before adjourning the meeting, I wish to remind participants that our joint meeting with the Committee of Science and Technology will take place tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 December at 10 a.m. in this room. The meeting is adjourned.